And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Welcome to Alaska Weather. I'm meteorologist Peter Chan, coming to you from the National Weather Service in Alaska region on this Memorial Day, Monday, May 27th, 2024. And if you'd like additional weather information on top of what you get in this YouTube video, you can go to weather.gov. That is the National Weather Service's online presence that brings you to a map of the continental U.S. with Hawaii and Alaska to the lower left and little click tabs here for the territories. And it gives you a quick overview of what's happening in the country. And you point and click anywhere on this map. It'll give you a very specific forecast with any relevant watches, warnings, or advisories. On the weather map this Monday afternoon, we have severe thunderstorm watches from areas of the northeast down across the southeast into Texas, along with heat advisories. Even some tornado watches for areas of Virginia, now the outer coast there of North Carolina. This is all part of what was once quite a severe system that did produce over 20 fatalities from tornadoes coming across Texas, Arkansas, and into areas of Kentucky. So this has been very active spring when it comes to tornadoes. Now in Alaska, we're kind of seeing the tail end finally with the river breakup as far as the ice jam flooding is concerned. We still have snowmelt flooding issues. And so on this Memorial Day, it's been a mix of sunshine. Some areas have seen a fair amount of sunshine this Memorial Day weekend. Other places, more showery weather. Temperatures hit or miss generally, still somewhat below normal. But if you've had sunshine, it was beautiful at times in places like Talkeetna, where the sun was out and temperatures got up above 60. Anchorage hit 60 degrees for the first time officially at Ted Stevens International Airport on Saturday afternoon. But we still have some minor flooding from snowmelt along the Porcupine River, especially near and above Fort Yukon, especially east side of Fort Yukon. Some of the sloughs and low areas there are experiencing flooding. That'll be the case through midweek. The Porcupine River is expected to crest at some point later Wednesday or on Thursday before beginning to very slowly fall later this week into next weekend. Improving water levels, though, along the lower Yukon, including the Delta. If you recall last week, there were flood warnings for areas there around Imanik. There were some reports of minor flooding, but since then, over the course of this holiday weekend, those water levels continue to slowly recede there across the lower Yukon and the Delta. And then overall, as we get into early June, going into the first week or so, it's still looking cooler than normal, wetter than normal, especially southern parts of the state, and especially the southeast areas of, say, the southeast mainland, Copper River Basin, Wrangell, St. Elias Mountains, into the Panhandle are going to see above normal precipitation here as we head through early June. Looking at some of the FAA webcams on this Monday afternoon, lower cloud cover at the Bering Strait, Wales reporting overcast, a few flurries or ice pellets coming out of those clouds, temperature at 32 degrees. There's a pocket of colder air, weak low pressure working its way westward across the Bering Strait into eastern Russia at this time. Fort Yukon, where there is some flooding, especially on the east side of the town. So far, it's been minor flooding in the low areas, but mostly cloudy, 54 degrees. This time of year, just a bit of cloud cover really keeps the temperature down. As soon as you get some sun, temperatures in this area can quickly get back up near 70, and that looks like the case here as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday for Fort Yukon. Then Tazalina, there in the Copper River Basin, just low overcast, fog, 46 degrees. So that area around Lake Louise down through Gulkana and into, say, McCarthy. Just a rather dreary Memorial Day with a lot of cloud cover, fog, and periods of rain. Wrangell seeing a few scattered light showers in the vicinity, and that's the case across the Panhandle. There's some scattered lighter showers. Temperature 52, and as I was saying, it's looking like this area of the state is going to see especially a better chance of above normal precipitation here going into early June. The only notable hazard we have on the map is the flood warning that continues for Fort Yukon area around the Porcupine River. Otherwise, no notable weather-related watches, warnings, or advisories at this time. So a quick check of the river breakup map provided by the River Forecast Center. These dark areas of blue indicate where the rivers are open. Still means there could be some Issues with higher water from snowmelt flooding coming down these river systems, but overall the ice jam threat has ended. As I mentioned, conditions improving here along the lower Yukon Delta as a result of finally that last bit of ice pushing outward this weekend, so that's good news. But we're still getting snowmelt. The crest coming down the Porcupine River will be passing through Fort Yukon as we go through Wednesday and Thursday. So after that, late this weekend and next weekend, water levels should begin to slowly come down around Fort Yukon. We still have the rivers here in the far north. We have Coville and the Sag River beginning to break up and flow again. So again, those areas, we'll keep an eye on it, but for now, we're not experiencing any major flood problems. The other thing about this weather we've had, it's been a cool spring that's been occasionally wet. Interior here, central eastern interior, really in good shape when it comes to fire danger. Fire danger creeping up a bit here in the middle Kuskokwim and parts of the Yukon basin as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, because there's going to be some sunshine, drier conditions along with a little warmer temperatures, a little bit of a breeze. So that's why fire danger will be creeping upwards here in parts of the southwest parts of the state. But overall, so far, fire weather season has been pretty quiet. We've had some fires, but nothing like in the previous couple of years at this time. Looking at the satellite imagery, we have an area of low pressure down here. We have one over here in the lower Bering. There is one here passing through the Bering Strait. This is kind of an interesting cold core feature that's working its way westward into eastern Russia. And then this area of enhanced clouds is just over the Copper River Basin, producing some low cloudiness, fog, and periods of rain. Today, here we can see where the weather systems are. One well southwest of Haida Gwaii in the Panhandle, this low in the southern part of the Yukon Territory, a little easterly wave working its way westward. That's why we'll continue to see areas of rain or rain showers here in the southeast mainland going into the day tomorrow. Some sunshine here, though, out through the lower middle Yukon Valley up the Kuskokwim. This area here enjoying quite a bit of sunshine, and also Fairbanks enjoying some sun, partly sunny at times this Memorial Day with temperatures in the low to mid 60s. And then there's that low crossing the Bering Strait on into eastern Russia, and here comes a low working its way just north of the Aleutians across the lower Bering Sea, and it's just going to kind of sit and spin in this region. There'll be a weak secondary low kind of try to take shape with that, as is often the case. Late tonight into Tuesday morning, we expect there's this little low coming, just kind of pushing westward, will enhance some of the rain showers here in the southeast mainland. Still could be some scattered light showers as we go into the day on Tuesday across the Panhandle. And we find this low pressure here, eastern Aleutians, occluded front wrapping around it. It's going to open up a bit and find a little weak secondary low approaching the southwestern Gulf. This trough, typical feature we see this time of year, northwest Canada into the central interior, and it's going to serve as the boundary with the daytime heating, especially later afternoon and evening hours. You could see some scattered showers develop along this, perhaps even an isolated rumble of thunder. And looking at temperatures here for Tuesday morning, above freezing, low mid-40s Panhandle, and much of the south central areas, even inland from the coast. Still mostly cloudy, some scattered light showers in the Panhandle on Tuesday afternoon. Areas here of the Copper River Basin on over toward McCarthy, still cloudy with either some areas of rain or rain showers. Talkeetna, if you get a peak of sunshine back up near 60. Other side of the Alaska Range, some sunshine, 65 at McGrath. So definitely some warmer temperatures on the other side of the Alaska Range where there will be a better chance of some sunshine. And then lows again Wednesday morning, generally in the lower to mid 40s, and daytime highs generally in the 50s, though the northern Panhandle might be able to squeak out 62 there at Skagway. And as we head across south central, we find temperatures along the immediate coast generally around or just above 50, but Talkeetna may be up to 61, maybe 58. This time of year, all it takes is a couple of hours of sunshine. You can easily get temperatures back up around 60 in the afternoon, still 64 there over on the other side of the Alaska Range at McGrath. And here again across the central and northern portions of the state, below freezing along the Brooks Range, Arctic coast, down along the Seward Peninsula. So still kind of chilly through here, but also there are going to be some clearer skies in this region. But As we go back through Fairbanks, Yukon Flats, lows generally near or just above 40. High temperatures on Tuesday afternoon should manage to get back up in the 60s for Yukon, as well as Fairbanks through Tanana down toward Galena. And temperatures just above freezing, mid-30s along the Arctic coast down along to about the Bering Strait. We had temperatures this afternoon, at least at Wales, around the freezing mark, and that'll be the case again come tomorrow. And then for Wednesday, we expect temperatures to be a little warmer up through the middle upper Yukon, generally above 40 for lows. Still dipping down a bit below freezing along the Arctic coast and areas of the North Slope, and then down along the Chukchi Sea coastline to especially the north side of the Seward Peninsula. And with any help of a little sun, temperatures could be back up near 70 Wednesday afternoon around Fort Yukon, as well as at Fairbanks. And temperatures generally here in the central and eastern part of the interior will enjoy warmer readings in the 60s to some isolated 70-degree readings. We expect temperatures mid-30s along the Arctic coast, 52 perhaps there at Nome, with help of maybe a little offshore flow and some sunshine. So looking at the southwest interior, generally above freezing, except for with some clear skies near Norton Sound, could possibly dip just below freezing. And then on Tuesday afternoon, warmest temperatures as you creep up the Yukon and Kuskokwim rivers, get upriver there and up toward, like I said, McGrath, 65 for a high, trailing out along the Alaska Peninsula and Aleutians, mid-40s or so for highs, only 37 there. St. Paul, and then for Wednesday morning, we expect temperatures most areas to be above freezing now, with maybe the exception Savunga up there on St. Lawrence Island. And for Wednesday afternoon, temperatures up through once you get away from the coastline here, the YK deltas, you'll get temperatures back up in the 50s, and then as you get further upriver, Anvik on over toward McGrath, should be able to get 60 plus temperatures in the low mid 50s around Dillingham, King Salmon, but confined to mainly the mid-upper 40s going out along the Alaska Peninsula into the eastern Aleutians. And here is the forecast 6 to 10 day temperature outlook for June 2nd through the 6th. So roughly the first week of June is calling for temperatures overall to average below normal across the state, though the warmest readings, if you can get some sun, will be here along the middle upper Yukon Valley. But the best chance of below normal temperatures looks like it's going to be southeast, mainland, on into the northeastern Gulf Coast, the Panhandle, lower half of the Alaska Peninsula, on out into the Aleutians. So we expect temperatures to average below normal through this period. And then precipitation, much of the state could be a bit above normal, but most likely here, the southeast, including the southern half of the Panhandle, having the greatest likelihood. Still seeing a scattering of showers. There's potentially maybe a more significant rain event could set up beyond this time frame up here in the central interior. I'll keep an eye on that. But near normal precipitation is then anticipated there that first week of June along the west coast and extending down out through the Aleutian chain.